The Winter Crown Slapdown, brought to you by AoE 2 Underground, will consist of 10 maps this tournament. The tournament will begin with the Swiss stage, which will have a different opening map for every single round. So round 1, the opener is going to be Acclivity. Acclivity is one of my favorite maps, and I think it's because everybody starts like slightly closer. It's pretty easy to make rotations with teammates to the pockets, to the flanks. There's these cool hills around the base. It's not the hardest map to wall, so it's not as open as Arabia, but it's still great for all the fighting and everything that happens. The round 2 opener is going to be Coastal Forest, and this is a map that most people are quite familiar with, so I'm not going to go into any explaining of what the strategies are or anything like that. Just know we've had some pretty insane games on this, and it usually is a hyper aggressive map. The round 3 opener is a map called Paninis. It's got a wood line going through the middle, but it's unwallable on its 2 sides. It's a less aggressive map because the hill can defer teams from pushing forward, but there are ways to sneak by, and in a 3v3 anything can happen. The round 4 opener is a map called Frozen Cove. This is a map that's kind of like Ghost Lake meets Team Acropolis. So one team will spawn on its own hill on one side and the other team on the opposite side, and then the sides are where you can build. So it's not really a center control map, it's a side control map, and you'll also see mobility do well and just all kinds of different crazy strats. This is Frozen Cove, and it fits the winter theme perfectly. The round 5 opener is Expanse. Now this is a map where everyone starts almost full walled, and the start is a little bit different. You get farms, no boars, no sheep. There is deer on the outside edges, there are ponds, but it's very easy to wall up, and this is a map that will likely go Castle Age and Imp. I'm not saying there can't be feudal aggression, but Expanse is a map that we're going to be seeing a lot of late game on. That's it for the opening maps for each round. Now those 5 maps are still available in the map pool. There's 10 maps in total, and you can draft them as home maps when they're not the opener for that round. Moving on to the next map, we have Chasm. Chasm is a team-based style map, and yes, there is a big chasm running through the center. One team will spawn on one side kind of together and the other team on the other side. Sort of like Lombardia, you could say, but definitely closer, so it opens the door for aggression early on. It's decently wallable. It can go late game too, but I think we're going to see a variety of different styles and strategies. The next map on the list is Hil Fort. Hil Fort's another map most people are familiar with, so I'm not going to say too much about it. Just know it's a team-based map. You're all walled in behind the same fortified palisade walls. The other team, same thing. You're on a hill with a fort. I think it definitely has tendencies to go late game. That is Hil Fort. Moving right along, we have Kawasan. Kawasan's another familiar map. There's 6 players, 6 pawns, berries in the middle, and this is one of the hybrid maps in the tournament. We'll definitely see a mix of strategies and a lot of chaos, but I know everyone here has likely played Kawasan, so I'm going to leave it at that. Next up we have Lowland. Lowland is a center control map, sort of like Golden Pit, but there's more space. So it's not quite as oppressive if one team gets the middle first, and the resources up above are very limited, so players have to move down to the lowland. The final map is Seiz The Mountain. Seiz The Mountain is another map where you start with a team base, 3 players right next to each other, and it is a center control map. Players often go forward to the wood right away as there's not a lot at home, and I know that this map is sort of familiar, so I'm not gonna go too much into the strategy. But that is the 10 maps for the Winter Crown Slapdown. I hope this video helps anyone that had questions on the maps. I know it's hard to go into them individually and see what's going on. If you guys enjoy these videos, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. I'm gonna have a ton of content coming out throughout this tournament, highlight videos, all kinds of good stuff. So you're gonna wanna follow the AoE 2 Underground on YouTube.